Moira, is something wrong?
Weep for Northumbria.
Is it Halfdan? Has he gotten worse?
His heart is broken. He's a mere shadow of himself. With Faravid lost and his brothers away, he wallows in paranoia and sadness.
I could speak with him. Where is he now?
Wandering the fields of Pittaringa with his beloved Beonton.
I'll find him. Thank you, Moira. Stand up, Halfdan. I'm taking you back to Jorvik. Up, my lord. You're a king. You're not allowed to sulk. Men bled and died to sit you on that throne. So go, sit.
My brother, Ivar. Did he die well?
He died fighting.
You slew my brother and never said a word. You kept this from me.
It was no secret. Uba knew, did he not?
Leave me.
I will not. I've come to see you safely home. Now get up.
I mislaid my hammer. I think Beonton ran off with it, but I'm not well, Eivor.
I'll find your hammer, and then you'll come with me.
I was on my way to Scarborough. If you find my hammer, bring it to me there.
Ah, look at you, big and tall. What's your name?
Eivor, of the Raven clan.
Eivor, of the Raven clan. Come here, come closer. Do you like to drink?
As I like breathing.
And do you like to flight?
I do.
Well, listen. Here these folk aren't impressed by the speed of your thinking. They will only respect you for how much you're drinking. If you're sober, then leave, for there's naught here for you.
Oh, I'll shut your big mouth while I finish my brew.
That's the spirit. Now make your wager. The ale's free to those who flight.
I'll buy you a round with my winnings, how's that?
Ha! I like this one! Are you ready? What about one more drink before we begin? For luck.
For luck.
Your face is a wreck. You're a blight on the Norse.
Your face brings to mind the arse end of a horse.
Brilliant! 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 Yes! Have another drink. Yes, yes! Here's the next one. You're a pig-headed, ugly excuse for a Dane.
Well, you're thick-skulled and loathsome and lacking a brain.
You're brilliant! You're the smartest person I've ever met.
You hold your own.
Let's have another! I'm a champion, a winner, I'll claim the top prize.
You brega, brother, is ruse lies.
That was the most incredible fighting I've heard in all my years. You are a wonder.
I say the same of you, friend.
3 cheers for Eivor, the most masterful wordsmith in all of England!
This hammer is not meant to be thrown, Halfdan. Remember that next time.
My father, Ragnar, he gifted this to me. Took it off a Finnish chief. Still warm with blood when he handed it to me. I had 14 winters.
Ragnar Lothbrok was a great king.
A Finnish arrow killed my mother. A shield maiden she was. As fierce as a wolf swallowing the sun. My father swore to kill the men who took her from us. And he did. 14 against 1. But that was years ago in the east. And this is the west, where my father lies dead. A pile of bones in a pit of snakes.
And here we are, still telling stories of his life and deeds.
How did my brother die?
With his hand on his axe, awaiting the maidens of the battle slain.
Now he drinks at our father's side, awaiting the war at the end of days. Leoton, my boy! Come here, boy!
A dog always forgives, but he needs you home. All of Northumbria does.
Do a last thing for me. Light the beacon for all to see, and let it burn.
Are you the wife of the man who fishes below the cliff?
My husband fishes there, yes, and I run the stall. Do you fancy some fine, fresh fish?
I found your husband.
And where is that fool? Drunk in some bed, working off a debt?
Dead, I fear. Some bandits crushed him with a rock, hoping to fleece him.
No! Why? That sweet fool, leaving me penniless.
The bandits made off with all that he had.
That worthless man. Even in death, he leaves me penniless. That useless pig.
Basim, have you spoken with Sigurd lately?
We talk from time to time. Why?
Have you noticed any change in him? Any loss of happiness or feeling?
He appears to me more thoughtful, introspective.
Thoughtful? That seems an understatement. He speaks as if he hears the voices of the gods whispering in his ear.
We live in a strange time, Eivor. Among stranger people. Sigurd may be among the blessed. But who can say for certain?
Indeed.
The Nornir told me you'd be here. The cord is forged. Gleipnir, I call it. I'll wager there's a good story behind that wound.
A tale for another time. Thank you for this.
When you bind the beast, spare no loose ends. The cord will stretch or shrink to fit your needs.
How tightly will it hold? The beast may resist.
The more you tighten the cord, the stronger it will hold and the greater it will hurt, till the beast is rooted to the ground.
Thank you, Ivaldi. You may go.
Back to my forge?
Yes, until your debt to me is paid in full. It was the dwarves who made the world a trading post.
At least we trade in goods, not people, slave master. I'll be glad to be back on the ground, away from these angry skies.
Harvey, you're a balm to my eyes. What happened to yours?
A sacrifice for something greater. Is the wolf nearby?
Yes, but he's grown. I have kept him company, but he's consumed by a sadness I cannot understand.
Regrettable, but necessary. I knew from the start this wolf brought ill tidings.
From the start it was a kind creature. But our mistrust and cruelty have robbed the poor wolf of its sweetness and life.
Would it be a kindness to kill it then?
We are past the time for such mercy. This wolf has power now that would test our strengths combined. I fear he is possessed of a power that renders him ever living.
Then we will offer him a different fate. This cord is unbreakable. You must convince him to wear it. It will act as a leash, whose magic will signal that he is safely secured. An assurance to the Aesir who fear him. A beacon, that is all. No harm will befall the poor Fenrir.
Fenrir, yes. You know the creature's name. Did Loki tell you?
He did. It is a fine name.
Yes. Dweller of the Fens. An apt name for his current fate. Fenrir! A good word has come!
Leave me.
I wish you well, Great Wolf. But a fear still hangs over Asgard. The Aesir worry about your growing size and strength.
Do they now? And what do they have to be afraid of? Old friend.
Havi brings a collar fashioned by the dwarves. A beacon that we may track from a distance to know where you roam. Wear this, and you may live and thrive in Asgard without worry.
I smell something sour.
Wear the collar! Or return to Jotunheimer. There's no third way.
Son of Loki, have I not treated you with kindness? We are bonded, you and I. And as I trust my king, so you may trust me. Open your mouth. As a pledge of faith, you may take my hand if I am untrue.
Fair.
Be swift, Havi.
It burns.
Havi,
Light.
unbind him! Havi! Here you stay, Fen Dweller!
Here you die. Deceiver.
I could not strike the killing blow. All my oaths remain unbroken.
Anyone lesser would have succumbed to his hatred.
If I could have done this any other way.
There was no other way, Harvey. Our fates are fixed.
Fate, I know. You made a great sacrifice on my behalf.
It was not for you.
Do not think your kindness has made you a new friend, Lord of Imbeciles. I will kill you, all of you, gorging on Aesir flesh.
You may strike the final blow, son of Loki. But I will savor my years of freedom before we meet again. Come, old friend. The healing hands of Freya can help you. Have you come to say what I fear?
Not to say.
But to show.
A vision of the times to come. None living or dead now equal our heavy in arrogance. To believe that you could remake your fate thus.
For all your effort,
thanks for all your struggles. The threads of fate still bind you as tightly as ever. And yet, from this pattern, a single strand escapes the fray and stubbornly clings to the weave. Esir, Vanir, your doom will come. The earth will shake, the sun will die. Jötnar will stalk your streets as fire rains upon your heads. And the great wolf Fenrir will feast upon your blood. But you have found a way to live beyond this terror.
Let it flow.
To cheat your death.
From the life tree we go, to the life tree we shall one day return.
Mind and spirit will surge to a time far beyond your own. To a time in which you shall be reborn.
None may follow. Loki least of all. It is done. Time to face our end. Fight well with your offhand, as if born to it.
Easier than expected. And how does the world look through a single eye?
It keeps me alert, focused. You're strong as ever, Tyr. I'm glad for your swift recovery, body and Huga.
What's done was bound to be. I bear no ill will to any here. Not you, not Fenrir, not even Loki.
I'm not ready to forgive the trickster.
Will you punish him?
Not in this life. But he will not join us in immortality. The world we wake into will be free of his malice.
If it must be so.
Eivor, you have awakened. With more to share, I hope.
I returned to Asgard.
And what did you see?
I bound the wolf Fenrir, Loki's son, with an unbreakable cord. The beast was enraged by my actions. We fought and I prevailed, but I could not kill the beast.
You visit lore and legend. Things I would never have imagined to be real. Parables, yet here you live them as memories.
Every moment there was as tactile and as vital as you and I seated in this hut.
This is wonderful. Was there more?
There was a betrayal. I betrayed my friend Tyr. I stood by as the great wolf mauled him, tearing his arm off at the joint. I could have said something to prevent it, given him a warning. But I did nothing.
How did it feel?
I was unmoved by his pain. Not hateful, but I did not regret my indifference. A swig of poison that drinks like wine.
Selfishness unmeasured often feels this way. What else did you see?
I witnessed a final vision from the Nornir, the coming of Ragnarok. All was fire and ash, a chaos like a foul wind from the depths of Ginnungagap. But we were ready for the coming storm. 8 of us. We drank the mead, then stood and marched to our doom. That was the end of the Nornir's prophecy.
How curious. Was there more?
I can make sense of no more.
I see. The thrust of these visions seem clear to me. As in your first reverie, a fear of betrayal hangs upon you. Odin has seen fit to gift you with his infinite knowledge, and the treasure of his experience. Perhaps his tale is a warning. The indifference he felt is a great pity. See that you do not follow this same road. To do so would risk a loneliness, a personal exile, worse than death.
I understand. Or, I hope I do. Thank you, Valka. Do you want some fish, Njal? Here.
You have a strong war arm, Ravenshirt.
These men did not come for the fame of defeating a legendary berserker.
No. They were followers of the Mercian Lord. My blood enemy. My wife's killer.
How did your wife die?
Fame has two faces, Eivor of the Ravens. In Norway, many a young thane wanted the glory of killing me. They died. I grew tired of killing. Alfhildr and I, we came here for a new start. A quiet life.
But fame sailed ahead of you. This Mercian lord learned of your deeds, sought to boost his own name with your blood.
You have the right of it. Only he wanted me to drink the Berserker brew first. When I refused, he demanded. Offered gold, even taunted me. Then he hung her. Alfhildr.
Your blood feud is just. But if it is something you must do alone.
No. Your words are wise. I do not want to die fighting. I want to die knowing my wife is avenged. I want to kill that man. Help me.
Tell me what you need.
Nightshade. It's the last bit of magic I need for my Berserker brew.
You shall have it. And when this is over, I trust the Raven clan will have your axe.
When you find the Nightshade, bring it to me beneath the gallows tree south of Beodorixwar. Nightshade often grows near graveyards. And Saxons build their graveyards near churches.
Viljalaus, now you die.
My sword is lost. Floating down a creek. I shall follow till I dance again or drown.
Your Nightshade.
Good. It has the power we need for the coming ritual. Nearly done.
The skulls say Odin hung himself on a tree much like this. He lived, though. Most die.
Yggdrasil. The world tree. Odin's gallows. The place where life and death are one. Ride with me, Raven. The Sather awaits. Berserker brew hits hard. It may open your eyes to the spirit realm. It may turn you into a savage beast. Whatever happens, face it without fear. How are you cold? You bear skins, you wolf shirts, you tasters of blood. We are the shield biters, wall breakers, born in battle's flood.
What do you fight for, you bearskins?
You wolf shirts, you drinkers of blood.
We fight for glory, we shield biters.
Wall breakers, born in battle's flood.
Feels like a Jotun kicked my head in.
'Tis glorious, is it not?
Berserker brew does not agree with my belly.
But you live still. Can you feel the power of the bear's blood coursing through your veins?
Yes. But you were a bear.
And the bear power courses through me still.
I'm ready. Where to?
The Mercians who slew my wife cowered in Beodorichtsworth. We shall kill them all!
Jorn, your enemy has fallen. You have your revenge.
Yes. But now I fear I must ask you one last thing. Should you be willing.
What is it?
Njal is tired. I will tend to her beneath the tree where this all began. Please, bring us some of her favorite flowers. They look like...
I know the ones. I'll gather them and meet you beneath the gallows tree.
I brought her here, where it began, where it ends.
I understand.
They hung my wife in this tree, and buried her among its roots.
A grim and undeserved fate.
We took Njal in as a cub, she and I. No children of our own. Now both are gone. Yet I remain. Dear Njal, you were always at my side. For the better years of my life. Why must it end like this?
Njal sleeps at the Old Father's feet tonight.
Yes. They let loyal hounds into the Hall of the Brave. So Njal too is there. With Alfhilda. Before, you asked if I would join your clan. I am ready.
Good. There'll be a place for you on my longship and in my clan.
I shall sing of Alfhilda and Njal during our travels. Sing of their deeds. And I will carry their names into battle.
When you're ready, follow the River Nen to my settlement. We shall welcome you as a brother.
I will be the berserker of the Raven clan.
I want to see the Alliance map. Hytham received a message from Winchester, from someone calling himself a poor fellow soldier of Christ.
Your hidden ally. Very interesting. More targets, I assume.
Yes. So what do you think? Could it be a trap?
As a West Saxon stronghold, Winchester will be a rather unwelcome place for you. But that is nothing you cannot handle. If you go, do not go boldly.
I'll make my way to Winchester. The letter asked me to meet a man in white at a house of God, and then recite this phrase. When pride cometh, then cometh shame. But with the lowly cometh wisdom.
A passage from their holy book, I believe. Interesting. Go with care.
Well, was it nothing but driftwood?
Your sea beast was just a sunken ship.
What? But this is something that any swimming fool could have discovered. No offense.
I told him it was nothing, but he wouldn't listen.
Shut up, you fool.
Said you plague him day and night, complaining about his drinking, calling him a layabout.
Father, you knew? That there was nothing there? So, this was your solution to be rid of me?
You're as bad as your mother. Nothing is ever good enough. I'm sick of listening to it.
An elaborate ruse for so simple a problem.
This cannot be forgiven. Murder was on your mind.
You deserve reparation. Speak your justice, and I'll enforce it.
Thank you, stranger. Leave, father. Leave my home and my life. Your actions have made me an orphan.
I know this. If you ever return, you'll be punished for your crimes. Come, Grizzled. I shall be your rock now.
Live well, Grizzled. Free from your father's mischief.
A Dane treads the cobbles of God's house. In search of Christ's redemption, I hope.
Your Christ can wait his turn. It's you I've come to see.
Is that so?
When pride cometh, then cometh shame. But with the lowly cometh wisdom. You know these words, and you know why I speak them.
I do. But I am not yet satisfied that you are the one for the task ahead. As Jesus said unto Thomas, I am the way, the truth, and the life. Speak the deeds of Christ in order. Only then will you cometh unto my Lord.
If I must dance to your tune, tell me where to step.
In books one may find such wisdom. We had many in England, before the Danes burned our churches. A few yet remain nearby. Or perhaps a more pious soul in need of charity will reward you with a lesson.
I have nothing for you now, but I will return.
Speak the deeds of Christ in order.
God breathed on the water, and in the Jordan River he was cleansed of all sin.
His baptism.
On the mountain his face shone like the sun, and he became light.
His transfiguration.
The women came with offerings, but they could not find him when they looked among the dead.
His resurrection. And Jesus said, I am the light of the world. Whoever follows me will never walk in darkness. Well spoken.
Are the riddles done?
That is not for me to decide, for I am not the one who summoned you. If you follow, I will lead you to him.
May Christ, whose terror scares away the foul throngs, make with me a strong covenant. Was God's lesson instructive?
I learned that your God fears death just as mine do, just as every man does.
Yet through our Lord, we may achieve life everlasting in his glorious presence. Perhaps you missed that detail.
Do all the priests in Winchester have this same skill for drama? You risk your life, Alfred King.
I have invited you here to speak on equal terms. Do the Dane laws of hospitality not apply in Wessex?
You gifted my Jarl to that whelp from the Order of Ancients, the warrior Fulke.
Fulke was an enemy of Wessex. But it seems someone has already removed her threat from my lands.
If you did not hear it was me, you have now.
Impressive. The Order of Ancients has surely been crippled by her loss.
How much do you know of this order?
Only this and little more. This letter, signed by one who calls himself a poor fellow soldier of Christ, warns of a plot against my life.
The gallows, the quill, the Sikhs. Free men eager to kill you.
2 now. The Bishop Aelfirth is dead. He was the Sikhs, so far as I can tell.
And a humble servant of your god. That must sting.
Still, his death has strengthened Christian fellowship in Winchester. I pray the deaths of his colleagues will do the same.
I should let the Order kill you. It would speed our conquest of England.
You may remove the organs of state. The cancer will remain.
Then promise me a reward I can sing about. A healthy king's weight in silver.
Very well. As much as you can carry. This morning, my reeve, Goodwin, was not at his post.
A man you trust?
Goodwin was following the clues given in this letter when he disappeared.
Where was he last seen?
At his house, by the west gate. You may find something there. Eivor, compose yourself while you are my guest. My city is not a battlefield.
Not yet, Great King, but the day will come. You seem agitated.
What gave it away? The fact that I had to debase myself pissing in this swindler's pond, or the angry shouting?
This man has something of yours?
And here's another godsend to shit in my stew pot. Sod off, unless you are going to magic Alfred's jewel out your arse.
You! What are you doing in here?
I am not your enemy, yet. But that man outside certainly wants Alfred's jewel.
Oh, Jesus wept upon the Holy Cross! Fuck off, the both of you! Alfred will get the jewel when I get what I'm owed.
Peace, or you'll feel my blade in your guts.
Sorry, my beef is not with you. I only ask for what coin is fair. It cost me double to make over what was agreed. I have a wife to feed.
If the trinket is for Alfred, I think I'll just take it.
Lord have mercy on me!
I have your jewel.
Well, I didn't ask for your help, but I am glad of it. Alfred commissioned this rare thing.
How rare?
Filigreed gold, centered with a rock crystal and enamel plaque, a miniature of our most beatific Lord, Jesus Christ. And you're going to just keep it, aren't you?
You may have it. But tell your king it will all be mine soon enough. His jewels, his treasures, his city, his throne.
What? No, God's pearly tooth! Here's payment for you, and we will both forget this meeting.
A Dane in Winchester? These are strange times.
King Alfred sent me, pleading from his bended knee to find someone.
I know Alfred well enough to spot a bloody lie when I hear it. If he did send you, he was standing tall and proud.
That he was, and you are the man I've come to find, Goodwin. Do you know why?
If I had one guess, to find these heretics from the Order of Ancients, and bury them so deep, even God would need a shovel.
So where do we start digging?
My research should help us. If they haven't burned it already, it'll be somewhere nearby.
I will find your research. Now go, before they find their wolf has fled his cage.
I am grateful for your help.
It's a brazen move to arrest Alfred's favored reeve.
This so-called order are nothing but defiled shit peddlers.
Shit peddlers who have wormed their way into every crevasse of your country. They're dangerous.
I didn't catch your name, did I?
Eivor of the Raven Clan. Scourge of Mercia, if that name doesn't rattle some recognition.
Well, Eivor, when our three heretics smolder on a heap of ash, we'll down a cup of ale together and share our distaste of Mercians like old friends.
Alfred believes at least one is dead. Your Bishop Aelfirth was the Sikhs.
Bugger. Half of Winchester is in mourning for that nun-groper.
One calls himself the Quill. Are words his weapons?
There were rumors of letters nailed up around Winchester. It may be that one of these can tell us more.
The gallows? What do you know of him?
Must be another reeve, I'm sure of it. Only we have the power to mete out justice. And this one would walk with cocksure righteousness.
The gallows had you arrested, so he must command the law.
Reeve Selwyn? Of course. That hedge pig has brought down laws like a hammer on Winchester. Executing sinners on spurious charges in the square.
Could it be another?
He's the man. He's the only one who fits. End his terror, Eivor.
Good people of Winchester, open your eyes. See how Alfred's lofty ideals are weighed down in this mire of human effluence. These prisoners before you do not live by Alfred's laws. They live above them. They wallow in shit, only guided by their own perversity. Hubert here, his wits addled by ale, spoke false of Bishop Aelfirth, our pious servant of Winchester, who even now lies cold in his grave shroud.
Aelfirth was no man of God. He'll burn for his sins.
Your wife is obeying shrew, Hubert. Is there a man here who has not supped rancid mead from her cup?
When will your work be done, Selwyn? When all of Winchester falls to your justice?
Between his Swickland moose.
Quellati! Quellati, Ella!
Winchester has passed judgment, Hubert. May God have mercy on your cankerous soul.
Where Pathito Wirmam? Is necessity.
Perverter of justice. Who dares execute the king's noose?
It is not in Alfred's name that you carry out your work. You are the Order's executioner.
You peer through the veil, but you do not see clearly. Alfred's laws are a slave's fever dream. He offers shit-soaked beggars a seat at his table, where the meek devour the strong. Who best to judge the fate of the wretched many, if not the strong and worthy few?
To protect your people, you must sheathe your hand in an iron glove.
You grind your heels into the backs of freed men, not those who deserve it.
The Order condemns all men to pain. For all men are but a shadow of the perfection we should know. The perfection of the Ancient Ones.
You are only a man, Reed. One dead branch on a fast-dying tree. What are you doing all the way up here?
Don't try and stop me. I will get that flower, and then she'll see how much I love her.
A brave choice, little fellow.
Even if I get smashed on the ground like an overripe plum, I'm just getting my breath back. The climb was hard. I'm girding my, loins.
Loins, eh? Or I could get it for you. I would hate to see such a ferocious flame snuffed out.
I mean, if you insist. But I could get it if I wanted to. Just so you know. I'd known it was that easy.
You would have done it yourself. Risked life and limb. But great men know the value of a champion. What will you do with such a treasure?
It's for her. It's all for her. So she'll finally notice me.
Athelflaed, what do you say to the sweet boy?
Thank you for the flower. It is very beautiful. Now we are betrothed, and I will grow up to be a great king. And you will be my fair lady.
What say you, daughter? Do you think him a worthy suitor? He risked so much to declare his love. I will tell my husband the king you claim our daughter's hand. When you are a little older, of course. Come, dearest.
A cheerful heart is good medicine, but a crushed spirit dries up the bones. Does Magister Batter not teach you the scriptures?
Magister Batter is a horse's dangles.
And here is the axe I used to swat a fly.
You have ventured from your burrow.
And you have plunged my city into chaos. I had hoped you would use the lessons of your subtler gods.
We have no subtle gods.
If the gallows is truly dead, perhaps we can allow cautious revelry?
I did only what I agreed to, Alfred. If your crown now weighs heavy, I would gladly take it from you.
Forgive my outburst. God sowed in me a passion, but English prose is an instrument long out of tune.
We all want better for our people, don't we, Eivor? Yours and ours.
The quill remains. What do we know?
The decay of learning has been gentle in Wessex. We enjoy the office of wise men, but we have neglected the study of wisdom.
The quill preys on this lapse.
Someone disagrees with your reforms, Alfred, and he's calling the children to arms.
Now we know why so many children scurry through the streets, feral and untutored.
I can talk to some, see where they lead me.
Good. Find me at the alehouse when you're done. And try not to scare the piss from any of them.
We Norse are the monsters of your Saxon mother's bedtime tales. I promise nothing. I see you, child. Come.
The bad Reeve, Selwyn. I saw you punish him in the square.
He hurt many people.
Yes. He hurt my mother to death. Then took her good luck charm. Perhaps you found it? A little carved tree. It is all I have to remember her by.
I found no charm, lucky or otherwise.
A bit of silver then? For my troubles.
It wouldn't have the same value, would it?
You ugly Dane! May God curse you with boils on your face!
Spry little mouse, will you lead me to your quill? Stealing apples, eh?
Fruit don't feed a grown boy. Do you have any chicken?
I don't, but maybe you can tell me what you know of the quill.
The quill? God blimey, you're brave. Find Alwyn and Wigbert. They see everything.
Godspeed! You'll set Winchester ablaze!
Roly-poly mutton man, you can't catch me!
God help me. I'd rather be shoveling dung in Malvern again.
You again? You should mind your own beeswax.
Elwyn, is it? You wield fire like the flaming Jotnar.
It was burning when I found it. Hot days like this, things just go whoosh. Well? Oi! Wigbert! You great moon calf.
Hand it over, Alwyn. We saw your little shadow take it. What you looking at?
I'm not sure. Looks like an old lady's been rolling in shit with all the other ugly sows. Huck in a dress, maybe?
Ha! That showed them.
Trouble seems to follow you.
And I wriggle out of it like a slippery eel. Why are you following me?
Setting fires, stealing things, is a fearful day's work. Aren't you supposed to be in lessons?
You don't need book learning when you're street shrewd. That gets you real places.
Or gets you noticed. By the quill, for example. Does he pay you well to do his dirty work?
Us? Working for the quill? Shows what you know.
Is that so?
I am innocent as a lamb. They were the quill's thugs and you killed them. Wouldn't want to be in your boots.
It sounds like you owe me your life.
This one's brave and strong. Might be able to help us.
So you're not working for the quill?
We steal to stay alive and out of the quill's clutches.
But you know where I can find him.
They come up from the sewers like rats. Go on, give her what you took. Maybe she can save us. Good luck, Dane. Try not to get maimed and all that. That's her! Dimwit Dane, Dimwit Dane, didn't guess the quill's a she.
Now, Elwyn. Few have the wit that you and I possess. Most see the world in simpler terms, where we are the weaker sex.
A broodmare who preys on innocence and you brag about strength.
How little you know. Defend your mistress! Come, child. Whisper what you've learned, and Mother will give you a treat.
Coward! Using children to spy and steal for your order.
To educate them. Give me a child until he is 7, and I will give you the man. Or woman. What use are letters when a child can only write his name in pig shit? Or wisdom in a woman when she cannot wield it beyond her heart? I taught little Alwyn so much more. Saved her from a life less worthy. She will find enlightenment in the Order, just as I did. If I could save them all, I would.
But you can't. You have corrupted too many to save too few.
My order is the only way forward. It can quench our thirst for knowledge. If only Alfred's slave faith is defeated. And what would you sacrifice for infinite knowledge?
An immeasurable gift. Why refuse it?
Not their innocence.
A pity. None requiescent in vouching.
Eivor!
Is this where Justice hides when she's tired?
Hides? Splood, no. This is a wake, my friend. A celebration to ease the quill on her way to eternal damnation.
You heard.
Hilda's were not the only eyes in Winchester. My spies tell me stories of an avenging angel striking down the unworthy.
I have been called worse.
Be thou hail, Ealdor. That's Life Destroyer in our dialect.
I said easy with my kinsbane. Old honey waves alive in my horn, and my eyes on the door, expecting my death, yet unafraid.
You're quite safe with me, Dane. For now. If the mead is fresh and the air is cool, you may often find a friend even amongst your enemies.
What does a reeve do exactly? Besides sniff around the king's coattails for the scent of praise.
I enforce and interpret the laws here. Not man's, but God's law. The natural laws that move the world and hold it together.
Well, if it keeps you busy.
I must thank you before the ale dulls me. By cutting the order down to size, you have given England a hope of unity. It must be a sour apple to swallow, knowing that you are the last of Winchester's enemies.
Are you sure the Sikhs is dead?
The bishop is dead, that's certain. And if the bishop was the Sikhs is dead. A transitive property of mortality, you see.
I don't believe it. Too much theater in Winchester. Overwrought players and wailing women.
Well, you could pay your respects and see for yourself. The funeral is today.
If he rots, I will leave with my silver. But if he lives, there's work to be done.
Watch your step, Eivor. He'll be a hefty corpse in death. Alive, he'd be much bigger.
Do you not see? I am in prayer.
May we speak of your brother's death?
Have you no shame? Leave me.
I will leave you in peace then.
A stranger comes to Wember.
You do not mourn like they do.
Wember is always here, helping the sleeping, singing to them, so they are not frightened before they meet God.
The sleeping? You mean the dead?
Wember helps the monks. Dig, dig, dig.
You dig the graves. Did you bury Elfirth?
Have you seen Layoff? My poor friend. Poor Layoff.
Layoff. What happened to him?
Sleeping. Sleeping like my dog when I hugged him too hard.
Someone hurt Layoff?
Yes. Yes. And while he slept, they stole his face.
What now?
A pretty show you have laid on here. But I know the truth.
You would dare speak to me? When my poor brother Aelfirth lies cold in his shroud.
Your brother is the Sikhs, and no more dead than I am.
Heresy. My brother was the Bishop of Winchester.
How better to hide than behind a bishop's robes? He is no man of God. He serves the order. And you buried him when Goodwin got too close to the truth. Or rather, you buried another in his place. The poor gravedigger's friend.
No, you cannot just...
Talk now, or you will join the poor unfortunate you murdered in his grave.
You bastard Dane. You're as bad as them. I only ever wanted to serve God. Guards! Why will you not leave me alone?
Enough of this, cat and mouse. Where is your brother, the one they call the Sikhs?
He is a ghost now. But he will make himself flesh once more at the Witten. And Alfred will be king no more.
He means to kill Alfred?
Regicide? No. The king will step aside and Aelfirth will lead us all. Risen and resplendent as the Lord.
You are a damned fool.
Hey, what?
How sweet is the shepherd's pipe when he calls his lambs to slaughter. I was born to Christians in the northern wilds. My mother would cradle me beneath the stars and whisper, dove-like, God watches over you. Then your people came. And God fixed his stout eye as they slit her throat for a copper ring. No stars threw down their spears as barbarians smeared her blood through fields of broken wheat. God watched all, and I hated him.
It may be Alfred's god was testing you. A trial you failed.
Alfred's god is weak. Yet he would chain us all in his service, from our first breath to our death rattle. My order wishes to break these mind-forged manacles. I am the wolf in lamb's wool.
He takes on the role of a god himself. A worthy path to walk.
A wolf is but a walking feast for ravens.
One more gift for you, Dane. A deadly truth, if you can find it. With my death, the Order will not die. It will only transform into something far worse for all of us.
Elfirth will not cheat Loki's dread-daughter twice.
I owe you my life.
An irony not lost on me, Alfred.
My king, we'll go by back streets to the Old Minster. Eivor may find us there when all has settled.
Aelfirth, my love! No! Curse you, Dane! My brother served God.
He was not a Christian. He abhorred your god.
But why strike him down? Have you no compassion for good men?
We both have more questions than answers. But if you know this key, perhaps we can help one another. Where is its home?
You treated me with kindness, but this damned Order, their machinations killed my brother, so the rest may rot. Take this key to the ruins beneath the Bishop's house. You may find answers there.
Come forth, Eivor.
Here is far enough.
When wrongdoers came to devour my flesh, these enemies stumbled and fell.
Have the laws of hospitality been thrown out, Alfred? I did exactly as we agreed.
That you did. But do not mistake necessity for friendship.
You are a man of your word, a man of God.
Indeed. By his example, I live my life. Goodwin?
Here is the only silver fit for one of your dragon boats. A reminder of Christ's sacrifice and our charity.
This too I offer you. Live here among us in peace as a Christian, or die a pagan in a blood-soaked field. All you have to lose is life everlasting.
And if I choose neither?
He offers you hope, Eivor. A life of purpose, above and beyond this one. You'd be a fool to refuse.
Your reign will end, King of the West Saxons. Raven wings will beat until your throne crumbles to dust.
You were wrong, Goodwin. This one is beyond saving.
Had your chance, damn you!
I did not want it. Jordan Winchester has been wiped out, but we are no longer welcome there. My contact was none other than King Alfred himself. The Order wanted him dead, so he fought back.
Alfred,
The line between friend and enemy is a porous one.